Okay, Bennett, I want to start with something. Have you ever you've seen The Incredibles, right?
Yeah, of course.
You know the scene where like Mr. Incredible is working at that desk job and that he hates, and like the little tiny boss is like, I'm not happy, Bob. Not
Yes.
happy.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Woke up and was thinking about that all morning because like anyway, you kick us off, but just keep that quote in your head the whole time today.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome back to Not From Boston, everybody. I'm Bennett. He's Harry, and the Red Sox have fucking blown it. Um, we're here because Alex Bregman is now a Chicago Cub. He signed a 5-year, $175 million contract. Uh, it's pretty unbelievable, honestly. I mean, it's not
Is it?
unbelievable.
It's not, I wouldn't use
It's
the
not
word
unbelievable at
unbelievable.
all. We
Yeah.
all should have known this was going to happen, but it doesn't make it any better that it happened. Holy shit. Um, yeah, where are you at?
I have a lot of thoughts. I'm actually really excited. So I'm if I sound and look like I'm in a weird place right now, again, I feel like the last three episodes have been all over the place, but I am at an album camp right now. I am writing and vocal producing a record for a friend of mine and a great artist. So I am like in for these short burst episodes. So I'm like, dude, we got to do a podcast. I'm in the pool house right now of the studio that we were at for the week in Hollywood. So I'm literally sitting in an empty room right now. It's very strange. Okay, mentally, where am I at? So we get the notification last night. I think I called you at like 10 p.m. I was like, yo, dude, Bregman's a Cub, 175 million, 5 years. I have many thoughts. Number one, the reason that I'm angry is actually more about the Rafael Devers trade now.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
exactly.
not actually about Alex Bregman because I think when we had Devers last offseason, we spoke about it. This, when we saw the opt outs in the
Mhm.
contract, this was always a possibility that
Yeah,
he would do okay, walk away. We know John Henry doesn't like to spend big money on long term deals anymore for guys over 30, which I want to call bluff on in a separate for a separate reason. But um, we knew this was a possibility. The issue is we traded Rafael Devers, freed up like $250 million of cap space. Yes, we extended Roman Anthony, but that money has so many deferrals. It's like we're not even going to feel the impact of that for like 5 seasons. So that's not relevant in my mind at all. Um, we let Rafael Devers walk away. The key piece of that was this young guy, James Tibbs, who we then traded for Dustin May, who we no longer have. Jordan Hicks is a disaster. Kyle Harrison isn't very good. Um, and now Bregman's gone. So now we're looking like a team that is not going to make the playoffs. The other reason that I'm really angry is because for the third season in a row, Craig Breslow has not shut his fucking mouth. He says full throttle the first season and does nothing. Last year they said they were going to do some shit and they did. They got Garrett Crochet, they called up Roman Anthony, they did sign Alex Bregman. That's all good stuff. Then this year he says we're getting two A-list bats and two more starting pitchers, a good starting pitcher. Sonny Gray now looks like a fucking joke. I like Sonny Gray. I think he's going to actually do really well, but like that's a joke. That's like they're making Wilson Contreras and Sonny Gray feel like we just signed fucking prime A-Rod and prime Roger Clemens. Like, and we're also I think the only team left that hasn't signed a free agent this offseason. So to me, it's a combo of the Rafael Devers thing now looks so bad. And I know that's like an easy target. That's the low hanging
mhm.
fruit. But I also think the lesser of the low hanging fruits is stop fucking saying shit to us. Stop bullshitting us. Stop telling us stuff. I'd honestly rather, truly, I mean this wholeheartedly, I would rather he come out and say, listen, guys, we really don't have the budget that we were hoping for this offseason. We're going to try our best. I would be like,
Mhm.
okay, I know what to expect because we're sitting here twiddling our fucking thumbs. Boston has one of the biggest media markets in the world for sports, and we're sitting here, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? And they're not doing shit, dude. Like now, the other piece of this, I started to convince myself since we did the episode when I was in Australia, which was like 3 weeks ago now. I don't think we're going to sign Bo Bichette. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn that out of my brain. However, the 1% of my brain that thinks that's a possibility, I would almost prefer Bo Bichette over Alex Bregman simply because I think Bo Bichette fits the mold offensively of what we do as a team. He hits a ton of doubles. He puts the bat on the ball. He's not a home run hitter. We're not really a home run hitting team. I don't think that's
Yeah.
something like our ideology offensively has ever been built around since Bogarts left. I mean, we had Devers, but even Devers is a 30 homer guy. He's not a 50 homer guy. So
Yeah.
I would like to have Bo Bichette at second base. I think at this point over a much older and an injury prone Alex Bregman, but I don't think we're going to even make a contract offer to Bo Bichette.
Oh, I think we're going to now because I think the Sox are going to now because they have to. They just
It'll be a bullshit offer. It'll
but
be
I mean, now that the Phillies are in the mix and it's like you can't Dave Dombrowski is gonna dog walk Craig
of course.
Breslow. So I really wouldn't put any stock in Bo Bichette happening for the Red Sox. I mean it's like yeah, I think a lot of this, obviously, we can talk all the way back to the Mookie trade, and this being kind of where that all started. Yeah, the fact that like we traded basically a decade of Rafael Devers for 114 games of Bregman, it's fucking crazy. Like I genuinely like there's no way to spin it. That's just so stupid. It's
Yeah.
just so bad like management, bad baseball, bad everything. Like it's just it's unfucking leavable. I actually published a thing on Substack today talking about something that you just like touched on, which is that the Red Sox, honestly, I really think the Red Sox biggest problem is that they suck at public relations
Oh,
and
they're
they suck
horrible.
at it on an external level communicating with fans, and they suck at it on an internal level. And like this
Mhm.
is something like we talk about in we like talked about in class this past semester is in every organization regardless of industry is operating either as a closed system or an open system.
Mhm.
You want to operate in an open system because open system organizations are adaptable to change. They're more driven by trends. They're normally like there's just better internal communication. Closed systems, uh, in which you like kind of isolate and segment your organization, creates fear and paranoia and is immune to changing context within your industry, what's happening around you. The Red Sox are a closed fucking system. Like we are seeing so many reports about like Breslow's got this like tiny inner circle that he talks to. Like so apparently some people in the front office didn't hear about the Sonny Gray trade until it had happened, like until the news broke. Like crazy. The fact that the Red Sox were shocked that Bregman walked today, like the fact that they have and I think Carabas said this too. Like there have been several points in the last 2 or 3 years where the Red Sox have seemingly thought like, oh, we got this in the bag. We know what we're doing. Like we are on target with our expectations are realistic, and then they turns out they missed the mark by a fucking mile.
Yeah, I mean
And
the
like
final. What did we offer him? We offered him 7 years, 165. Is that right?
it was 5 years,
5 years,
165. It was
160.
the dollar amount I actually don't think is what broke this deal. I mean, I think it didn't help,
It's
but
probably the deferrals.
it yeah from McAdam wrote about it. I think he said the deferrals on our from the Sox were over decades,
Yeah.
whereas the Cubs were like over a couple of years. But the no trade clause sounds like it's what broke this deal.
Yeah,
Is
and to be honest, I mean, dude, this Devers shit and the Mookie shit is gonna haunt these guys forever because I heard an interesting podcast about this. I actually don't remember who said it, and I don't at the time I didn't agree with it, but now it's like if you want to play for the Red Sox and Craig Breslow is in charge of running baseball operations, they've sent a very clear message. If you don't toe the line, you are out of here.
yeah, and we've heard from so many reporters that Breslow is difficult to deal with, difficult to negotiate with for on trades and contract negotiations and stuff. But I think to your larger point, like yeah, the Red Sox seem allergic to signing players over 30 to multi-year deals, which is I think stupid, just
Yeah.
personally. But if that is the organization's like genuine philosophy, where like we think this is a bad way to build a baseball team, like fucking say it. Like I'm like genuinely confused. I don't think, you know, despite what's going on. I don't think the Red Sox have like a vision for what this ball club
No,
is. And I think they part of the problem here is that. B, I think it's like you need to have a vision and articulate it to us, to Red Sox fans, and internally, like be very clear about like this is the short-term plan to get to the playoffs and win a World Series. This is the long-term plan to continue doing that. And
I actually want to make a quick jump in
yeah,
and caveat that I actually do think they have. There's two core pieces of identity that they do have. Number one, I stand by offensively, they're very clearly looking for. There's a very clear prototype that they're looking for because it turns out that they weren't actually competitive for Kyle Schwarber or Pete Alonso. They offered Pete Alonso like $75 million. Like he was never going to take that. Um, I do think they want, even though we had an extended period of the earlier part of last season with a lot of strikeouts, it seems that they do operate on the like bat to ball on base percentage type player more, which is why they went after Alex Bregman in the first place. Alex Bregman, again, never going to be a 45 home run hitter. I think since the Dave Dombrowski era, they've exited this like, let's go get a bunch of guys who strike out a lot but hit a bunch of home runs. Which is fine. Look, you know this. Doubles are my favorite stat in baseball. I love
mhm,
OPS and I love doubles. If you hit 40 doubles and have an 800 OPS, I want four of those guys in my lineup. Wilson Contreras is that. Bregman was that. Roman Anthony is certainly going to be that. Wilyer Abreu is that. So that's great.
yeah,
The glaring hole in this is if we don't make a real competitive. In fact, I'm not even going to say that. If we do not sign Bo Bichette, I don't want to hear we offered him 250 million, but you know, the Phillies offered him 300 and we just couldn't match that. You absolutely can match that, first of all. Second of all, Bo Bichette's 27 years old.
yeah,
So this whole we don't do long-term deals for guys over 30, great. If that is really the straw that broke the camel's back for Alex Bregman, you have a very, very capable backup plan right now who is 27 years old. You can sign him for 8 years and he'll only be 4 years older than Bregman is now. Go fucking sign that guy. Don't lie to our fucking faces. Um, and the other piece of identity, so that's two things. The other identity piece is it's very clear that John Henry is just about profit and sustainability. I don't think that he is any more invested in creating a winning team because he also runs Liverpool. Liverpool won a title last year in the Premier League. They're in fourth place this year and they're acting like it's like not a big deal. It's like, oh, it's great. We'll be in the Champions League next year. That's not for fans of a team like that's an unacceptable bar to set. Like, oh, we got fourth place. That's great. Like, no, that's not great. You won. You need to try to repeat your title. So I think profit, sustainability, it's the same as the Yankees, dude. There
yeah.
is there is a level of can we fill the seats? If we can get a wild card, you know, get some playoff airtime, and then that's good enough. Great. We went to the ALCS that one year. Oh, we made the playoffs last year. We're great. They genuinely are out of touch with reality, I think, in the sense that they think that fans are okay with like a couple rounds in the playoff exit. I want a World Series.
Yeah. I mean, I like, yeah, I guess the whole thing's been really frustrating. And like looking back at like the photo that John Henry took with the cigar, it just like feels like such a slap in the face now,
Yeah.
to see that. But you know, I think with this, I think the thing that pains me the most about this whole situation, other than the fact that like they're really bad at communicating and they need to really reorganize themselves and how they talk to fans and talk to within their own organization. Um, I like the thing that pains me is that like what the Red Sox are now is like I would still say a good team. Like I think it's an 85 win team for sure.
Yeah.
But what's frustrating about that is that very easily this team could be like running the American League. Like
Mm-hmm.
it would take like I think two or three moves and maybe $100 million if we were really being extra about it, but probably not even that. It would not take much. It does not take much to take this team to the next level and genuinely be the favorite to win the American League. But we just the Red Sox just choose not to do that. They just
Yeah.
choose not to, and that is what's upsetting. It's like this team isn't bad, but we know that it could be so much fucking better.
Do you think? and I did have this thought. I talked to my dad about this a little bit, and my dad was actually had an interesting perspective. I think he was disappointed that it didn't work out, but he was more like, okay, let him walk as long as we get somebody else in, like let him go. Um, and I do wonder. I mean, I will say, my opinion is the contract that we offered, that extra 10 million plus the way the money was deferred, is actually probably closer to what Alex Bregman is worth. I think that the Cubs overpaid for him a little bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to like, dude, this is a business. You're
No,
going to have to overpay for guys. Like that's
I
just the way it
mean,
is.
Bichette now has all of the leverage,
Bro,
all
he's
the
gonna
leverage
get
in
a
the
$300
world.
million contract easily.
And I think with, because the sticking point really seems to have been the no trade clause. And for Bregman, it sounds like his POV was that, he has two young children and he didn't want to uproot, like run the risk of having to uproot the family somewhere down the line. And that, like, he was like, I want stability. And the fact that the Red Sox like just like couldn't give it to him because it's like
Yeah.
organizational policy, like fucking fuck you. Like, are you that just Craig Breslow said, I think a couple of off seasons ago, like, oh, we got to get uncomfortable. And I'm like, doesn't look like you're getting uncomfortable,
No, they're
bro.
doing like the same shit they always do. I think the Red Sox, because it's so nerdy, like Harvard bullshit, they have this like number system.
Yeah.
Well, according to our calculations,
Yep.
Pete Alonso hit this many home runs and has this on base percentage. So if I crunch the numbers here, he's worth exactly $31.5 million for a 3-year contract. And that is what we'll offer him. And it looks competitive. And if anybody goes over it, then goodbye. He's not worth it. And it's like, dude,
Yeah.
again, when my in-laws come from Australia, the Australian dollar is not as strong as the US dollar at the moment, so
Mhm.
things are a little more expensive here. But guess what? Sometimes you want to go buy a fucking coffee and you have to overpay for it a little bit.
I
That's
mean,
fucking life, bro. That's business. Like this is the business of baseball. If you don't want a player, then don't fucking offer him a contract. Like to me, it just seems
yeah. But
I don't
like,
know.
in terms of how, like, there are so many things about this offseason that have made little to no sense. Like, so I like, let's just like, we're gonna have to back it all the way up to like just after the Mookie trade. Like, they hire Heim Bloom,
Yeah,
and the line is, we want to kind of adopt something that like the Rays are doing, where we build a strong farm system that is sustainable, that we can continue to have homegrown talent and then build off of that. And
yeah,
like, they should have just called that a rebuild and made it easier instead of like baiting us for 3 years or whatever. But like, in terms of like, if that, like, that being the vision, I'm like, that makes actually a lot of sense. Great. And Heim nails it. Like, he, like, you know major league success aside, Heim Bloom does his job. Like, he builds a sustainable farm system, an outstanding farm system,
certainly.
gives us, Roman Anthony, for God's sake. And then like, coming into the last two off seasons, the Red Sox are like, we aren't gonna spend money. Like, we're gonna talk about spending money, but we're not gonna spend money on free agents to add to the homegrown talent that we have. And then this offseason, they're like, oh, we don't really want to spend money on free agents. We're going to trade away like half of our fucking farm system. We're going to trade away all of our top, like, we're going to gut this farm system
Yeah,
and knock it back, like, to where the fucking Yankees farm system's at. Like, we're going to trade away all of our prospects to get, you know, uh, Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras and Johan Oviedo, who might all be good, great, like,
sure.
sure, but like, okay, now we're in a position where we don't have a great we're not going to have a great farm system,
Yeah.
and we're not spending money. So like, what the hell happens now?
It's also like we're in, if I'm not mistaken, we're in the first luxury tax bracket, correct?
Correct. For the
So
second year in a row. Oh, actually, hang on, let me fact check us on that one.
I think
Um,
that sounds, it's the first year.
the so we were barely over it last year. Um, and I
I just
think
think that's
this
all they care
year,
about.
I mean, which is
I think that's all they care about. I think that
crazy.
there's this, listen, I think that there's
No, we're
this,
not over it yet. We're at
I,
242. We like could get over it. We could get a little over the first threshold.
They're gonna fucking tank this year. They're gonna reset it. They're just gonna be like, oh, it's okay. We're gonna go under it this year, and we'll have a decent team. Maybe we'll sneak in the playoffs. I bet you that they're probably not gonna sign
But
anybody
then
else.
what is the but then like I need someone to explain to me like they genuinely don't talk about it really. They always talk about like the kind of like this season and like maybe the year ahead. I need someone to tell me like what is the plan for 2030? Like where is this organization supposed to
I mean,
be in
dude, they
2030?
they told us with Heim Bloom that the plan was 2025. That was what they told us in 2000 during the COVID season. They said, give us 5 years and we're going to have a literally like
Yeah.
the narrative that we were sold when we were living together in LA. The narrative as Red Sox fans that we were sold was starting in 2025, this is going to be a well oiled machine where
Yeah.
like we're going to be bringing up these elite prospects every year and signing for, we're going to be so financially stable that we can bring up these crazy kids every year that are going to be dropping bombs and like stud players, and we're going to be able to sign a free agent every year.
Yeah.
Here's the fucking thing, dude. The I've said this so many times before too. Dude, prospect capital is such a bad way to invest in a baseball team. It's really like one out of every 30 pans out like Roman Anthony. And we don't even know if
Yeah.
Roman Anthony has panned out. We actually have no idea. He had a good half of a season and then he got injured.
I mean, I feel pretty comfortable saying that that's gonna go
Sure, but
well.
like, dude, you never. What if he comes back from his injury and like he can't fucking swing? I mean, we've had the Red Sox have actually had good fortune with like Mookie Betts, Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts. They've had a lot of guys. Roman Anthony. Hopefully, Marcelo ends up being really good. They've had a lot of guys come up through their farm system that have ended up being really, really good. But a lot of teams don't. The Rays fucking built their whole model on this thing, and a lot of those guys that they brought up in the 2020 year when they went to the World Series, like they're not even in baseball anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just a risk. And I think resetting your luxury tax with the hope that all of these young kids pan out and then that allows us to go out. Like, I don't want to hear we're going to have to just wait one more year. Like, this was what we were told. We waited for 5 years. We had one playoff appearance in 5 seasons for this. This is what we were told this is the World Series year.
Yeah.
Um, and I think the other thing that might happen is we might offer Bo Bichette a contract, but it might be like a serious overpay, like a gross overpay because they're scrambling.
Yeah.
I
But I
would
mean, at this
rather,
point, like
I would rather
the
that than nothing.
I'm like, yeah, you kind of have to. You kind of force the issue by letting Bregman walk. It's like this is what you have to do now. I mean, obviously they can choose not to do that either and like be comfortable running it with Meyer at third and I don't know, Campbell or Romy at second. Like, but I mean that's just not going to be I think it's just like it's such a yeah, it's such a fumble. I think also what makes this like so uh deliciously stupid
Mhm.
is the fact that Fenway Fest was literally the day before this all happened, and Breslow's on stage, Roman Anthony's saying a thing. Everyone's talking about, oh, like, oh, Bregman, we want Bregman back, we need Bregman back. You know, it could not be like it's almost hilarious, like how poorly timed that was.
Did you see,
And
real quick, did you see Chris Cotillo? This article just came out that the quote from the front office is they feel, quote, real disappointment.
I bet they do because I like I said, like they're on such a closed system that they don't know anything beyond their own like worldview,
So,
like their own reality. Also, I think like kind of to this point, and I think it's also important to note, like just in terms of how Breslow has run this organization, like other than like isolating himself in like having this like inner circle or whatever, and like being really into like the algorithm and the model of whatever bullshit, like he has gutted our scouting system, like
yeah.
gutted, like fired scouts who had been with this organization for decades because he likes the analytics, like the predictive analytic models more. But
Mhm.
like scouting is really important because you get a feel for these players, you get a feel for the system, and like it's just like I think emblematic of this this whole like I guess this kind of like dig that people have taken at Breslow several times over the years, which is that he's a robot. It's just like
Yeah.
there's something like so cold and methodical and machine like about the Red Sox front office now
Do you think that
And
like, it's going to
it,
become a destination that people don't want to go to because of that?
yeah, 100%. I frankly, I feel like if I'm, you know, I mean, granted, like Crochet has made his money, and Roman Anthony's making bank and will be young when he hits free agency again. But like, fuck, I mean, with them, I'd be like, oh shit, like I thought we were going somewhere. Like I thought we had momentum,
Yeah.
but now we don't. Like we don't. We've burned it
I mean, to
all.
be honest, we have the same exact team as last year.
No, we have a worse team. Like we have 100%.
Offensively, we have I would say offensively we have a slightly worse team, but I think Wilson Contreras being more available than Alex Bregman is going to end up evening out roughly. Like I
Yeah,
think Giolito and Sonny Gray are kind of like for like. I think Contreras is not as good as Bregman, but will play more games and is a
yeah,
better. He's a better defender at a position that we need better defense at. So like, fine,
yeah.
but we're going to be running it back with like Contreras in the middle of the order instead of Bregman, and we're going to have hopes that Roman Anthony plays and Marcelo Meyer plays the whole season. We're going to have Romy Gonzalez have to be turning up the Jets again. I mean,
Yeah, we're gonna have to be hoping that Tristan Casas like has a better season
come
or like has a
on. I
bounce
mean,
back
dude,
year.
I don't even want to
Like
hear about that guy.
also
I like
we're
Tristan.
not we haven't even talked, and I'm thinking of more reasons that I'm pissed off at this organization. We haven't even talked about the outfield.
Oh
Like
yeah,
the fact that again, 4 years, like 2023, 4 and 5, and now in 2026, it's been like, oh, we gotta trade Durant. We gotta trade Abreu. Oh, we gotta get rid of Masataka Yoshida somehow. And it's never happened. It's always been talked about, and it's never happened. And then at Fenway Fest, Craig Breslow says, "Yeah, I never really was wanted to was never really seriously thinking about trading any of those guys." And I'm like, bro, what in the actual hell are you talking about? Like, we have too many outfielders, too many good
too many
outfielders.
good left-handed outfielders. They're all fucking
Like,
left-handed hitters. Like, I don't know, man. It's the same
there's,
team. That's all it
yeah,
is. We're just running it back with the same team, minus
but like,
Bregman, add
they're
Contreras.
literally making it up as they go along, and or that's how it feels. Like, and until someone explains to me like what the vision is, like that's how what I'm gonna continue to assume
Because also, here's the
until.
other thing. I would assume. I think it's a safe assumption. A safe assumption that Story is not going to be quite as potent as he was this past year too.
Oh yeah,
So maybe we will be a little bit worse. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know that the quote again. You said they're going to have to get a little bit uncomfortable. That has to be Bo Bichette, right? I mean, I don't think there's any other like. Cattell Marte is done. That's not going to happen.
yeah. Although maybe that door, like they find a way to reopen that door. I don't know. And unfortunately, yeah, you got to trade Peyton Tolley or Connolly early to make that happen.
That's
And
our
like you,
fucking fault, though. That's on
unfortunately,
you,
yeah,
bro.
I keep saying we. I don't want to say like I don't know what the fuck this organization is because I'm not in it, and certainly this shit wouldn't happen if I were. But like, yeah, this is their bed. They've made their bed. They gotta lie in it. Like, it sucks. It fucking sucks. We will. I think at this point, I'm like, are we gonna be better than the Yankees? Like, I think
Maybe not now.
maybe. Like,
Also, dude, we're the only team that has not made a free agent
okay.
signing.
So actually, I do this. Thank you for the reminder. I want to push back on this a little bit.
Okay.
So I don't actually care about that. Like
Okay.
that piece, I'm like, because to me, it's like if you build a successful tree, which the Red Sox haven't, but
Sure.
if you build a team entirely via trade and entirely via internal stuff, like, and you don't spend a dollar free agency money, and you go out and you win 95 games, and you make it like, then great, awesome, like, absolutely not necessary to spend free agent money.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's not what the Red Sox are doing.
But like, dude,
So,
if you're not
but
gonna,
like,
I don't know. It's
But
just you
like in
can't.
general, I'm like, if they make another trade, which granted I think would be strategically stupid for them, but if they did and they add a Cattell Marte, for example,
Sure.
like yes, that makes the team better than last year's, I think, automatically.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
and and so it's like, great, we've made the team better than the 2025 team, and that ultimately is like what you want. And we didn't spend, and we in that we wouldn't have spent a dollar in free agency. Okay, like
Yeah.
totally permissible. But when we're still operating in the incomplete like this, not good. Um, and like there is time, I guess, because pitchers and catchers is still a month away. but like it's not a good position to be in.
They need
Not
to
a
get.
good position to be in.
I mean, that's really the end of the. That's the end of. That's it.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, this is my time here. I'm getting called back in. I know we have not been able to do a long episode in a while,
Yeah.
but we will hopefully have some time next week to really do a debrief here. But
Yeah.
it's just disappointing, man. It's just like the last. I honestly really got to a point where I was like, oh, they're totally gonna get it. Like they're gonna.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Okay, wait. So why did you bring up The Incredibles?
because of that fucking quote, I'm not happy, Bob.
Oh, you're
Not.
just not happy. Okay.
Oh, it's like you fucking. Oh my gosh. It's not fun being a Red Sox fan right now. Which is
It's
fine. At
yeah.
least the Celtics are good, man. I got the Celtics doing well. You know, my Arsenal's good. My other teams are good, but man, it's frustrating as hell. It's really frustrating.
Yeah. It is. No,
Well,
it's so unnecessary. All
keep up
right.
with us 'cause we'll have to do a longer episode and catch up. I'm sure at some point wherever Bo Bichette lands, we'll do something too. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, we'll be back to regularly scheduled programming soon.
Yep.
All
All
right.
right, guys. As always, Substack and Instagram, you know where to find us, and we will see you all when we see you.
Later.